Now it's time to talk about how to use Ohio State University's subscription to RefWorks. This is a bibliographic management software. If you're already using bibliographic management software that you prefer, then by all means continue to use that. But if you don't, now you'll learn how to use RefWorks. So I start off with the University Library's homepage again. I don't know exactly where RefWorks is, so I'll just search the site for RefWorks. Go. I don't know what just happened there, but here we are, RefWorks, Ohio State Universities. And, oh, this is nice. Here's a short web link that you might want to use to take a shortcut to RefWorks in the future. But for now, since I'm already here, I'll just click here to log in. Now, if you haven't created an account, of course, you'll need to sign up for a new account. But for now, I'll just log in here. Let's see. And we're in. And you can see that there are already some references here from previous searches that I've done. You can organize your folders here. These are some folders I've created on some linguistic topics. This is a folder I created for a business student a couple of terms back. Alright, so now let's assume that we have you've created your RefWorks account. Let's go back now to finding articles. So in my previous video I had created a collection of 3 articles about Chinese art history and Buddhism, and specifically these cave shrines. So we're going to export the folder and export it to RefWorks. Since I'm already logged into RefWorks, then it shouldn't ask me to log in again. Let's see what happens. And it took me right to my RefWorks page. So, oh, look, the import's done. Well, let's look at it. Let's look at the folder that has the last things that were imported. And there they are. Now, we're going to create a bibliography. And we're going to create it with these 3 sources that are in the last imported, and I'm going to use all of them. Yes. Now here is the most useful feature, well, one of the most useful features about RefWorks. Select an output style. So are you going to use APA format, MLA format? What reference style are you going to use? If you're submitting a manuscript for a journal, what style do they require? Well, you can choose here. You can see here I have a few favorites. Many of these are linguistic standards. Some are from some students I've had in previous classes, IEEE, Harvard, American Journal of Public Health. Here are some that are popular at Ohio State. Now, this isn't very many styles. There are hundreds of styles. What if the style you want isn't any of these? Well, in that case, you go to Manage Output Styles. And now you can see a whole list of all these styles that it indexes here. See how slowly the square is moving down on the scroll bar? There are hundreds of these, maybe even in the thousands, I don't know. Let's pull this down a little bit. Yeah. Now we're into the J's. Now, oh wow, and lots in Korean too. It looks like so. Just about any journal reference style you could want, it's probably in here. So let's suppose I want to put this in the American Journal of Sports medicine. I don't know why I would want to put art history articles in a journal of sports medicine, but hey, why not? So, and I'll just put it over in my favorites here. Great. Okay, now I can close that. And I will select American Journal. Well, where is it? Okay, well, it's not showing up in my favorites yet. Maybe that takes a while. So I'll put it in the style of IEEE. Okay, and output it in, let's say, let's just make it plain text. Okay, and here we go. Create the bibliography. Completed. Bibliography is complete. If you do not receive a file download prompt, click here. Or if you'd like the file emailed to you, click here. Let me move this square down so you can see this. If you want the file emailed to you, click here. Okay. But let me just click here and see what we get. And there it is, an IEEE style. And it looks like an IEEE style. The given names appear just as initials. They appear before the family name. It looks like the titles appear in quotation marks, and all the big words or important words are capitalized. And this is how they do the journal name and the volume and the page numbers and the publication year. There's no way you can remember all those details for every reference style. RefWorks does it for you. Oh, this is weird. It looks like we have a duplicate in here. These two entries are the same. And furthermore, this one capitalizes all the words. This one doesn't. Wow. Well, I hadn't intended for this to be part of the lesson, but this is now part of the lesson. Although RefWorks will save you lots of work in making your bibliographic entries all have the same style, you still have to check to make sure that this style is the same from one to the other. And for this one, it looks like I'll need to remove a duplicate. However, for that, let me just get back to the RefWorks page and shut this down. And lastly, we can now see that okay, looks like I need to rename this folder, but at least we have a bibliography now that you can email to yourself or copy and paste if you clicked on here. And that's all for last one more thing. New reference. What if you have an old copy of some paper that is not even online, or you just have the copy of the paper in your hand and you don't want to look for it again in the database? Well, then you can just enter everything by hand, and it will add that to your list, and then you can create bibliographies with it the same as you would with the ones you found in the databases. Okay, and that concludes how to use RefWorks.